This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Sara Hart, recent graduate of our Broadcast Yourself Accelerator. Welcome.
Thank you, Brian, for having me.
How are you? And tell me a bit more about you and what do you do?
Well, I'm doing good, yeah. I'm from London and I have been a chiropractor for the last 10 years. And I recently, about 18 months ago, I sold up my London-based practice to go on a new journey, and now have founded and am the host of a podcast, Journey to Authenticity, thanks to your program.
And what was going on inside your head or in your life that made you want to pull the trigger and finally start broadcasting?
Yeah, I mean, good question. I had gone over it for a while, thinking about the idea of starting a podcast. It's a platform and a medium that I've enjoyed myself. I consume quite a lot of that content myself. And for a few months before starting the course, I had been doing a lot of research into it and getting absorbed into it, made the decision I want to start a podcast, but yeah, got absorbed in all the research and got into a bit of overwhelm. And then your course or webinar came up, and that perfect synchronicity, it was the right time, right place, right message, and I just thought I'll go for it.
You said research with a bit of like spite in your eyes. Why?
I think you can just get absorbed into that. It's another distraction and a way of avoiding actually doing it. So yeah, it was just another way to just get lost in a process without actually taking action, I think.
Procrastination in disguise.
Yeah, absolutely. And that perfectionism, which is a little bit of a thing of mine, I suppose. I got easily absorbed into that and waiting for everything to be perfect, and you can get completely lost and caught up in that. And then you know, months, years go by and you haven't done anything, so it was the perfect timing.
And what about the people around you? Did you have people that were encouraging you to do this or not encouraging you? What was that peer group like?
I mean, I didn't really talk to many people about it, really. I'd mentioned it to a couple and they said, yeah, that's cool, go for it. But I didn't have anything particularly negative, or my partner supported me, always does, but that's probably about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why London Real?
As I said, I think it was just the perfect timing. The message was what I was looking for, and I had been looking for different options of some form of accountability, I suppose, or some guidance, because there are so many elements to releasing a podcast, whether that's tech side of things or thinking about your niche or your message, etc. And I hadn't found anything that was the right package, I suppose. And your webinar came up on my Facebook and hit all the right buttons of going, I would like to learn about those things. So I thought I'd join, and you answered all of it. It seemed to be exactly what I was looking for. The strategy side of things, the accountability, the right sort of time frame, and to help to gain clarity on the message, all of it. So it was perfect. I didn't have any question or doubt about it. I was like, I'm doing that.
Okay.
Done.
All right, tell me about that first week where I drop you in this Facebook group. You got 150 people from around the world, all doing their own thing. You got 2 live calls with me a week, accountability doc. I'm asking you to upload video. What's that first 2 weeks like?
Overwhelming, I'd say, is probably the primary word. Yeah, and also just, you think maybe I had an expectation, it will be this, it will be pretty simple, it's just going to go through some basic strategy, but actually asking you to look inward into yourself and thinking, what do you really want? What's the real, what's the message that you want to put out? This is going to be part of your life. What do you want that to look at? So some of the bigger questions start to come up, and but it was great to be surrounded by so many different people doing incredible things and all these inspiring ideas and different walks of life, and also different messages, different professions, backgrounds, and something that I hadn't really had much exposure to. I've been in a chiropractic world for a long time, so it blew my mind, really. Open and expanded things to new ideas. It was great, but also a little overwhelming.
What did you struggle with the most on the whole course? What was the hardest thing?
I think just not allowing myself to go into overwhelm of everything has to be perfect, and just being, okay, done is good enough. I think that's probably the main thing, just pushing past my own inner critic. I think that's really what it exposed for me, was something I thought I'd put at bay quite a lot through my career, and having to work through that, starting something new and expanding your comfort zone. It really highlighted to me that is still very much there, and that little voice of self-doubt was running wild through the course. So That's been the biggest learning and the toughest part, I think, to overcome, to still keep going.
Okay. Tell me about your podcast and what were some of the highlights of actually recording it or publishing it?
Well, it's called Journey to Authenticity, so it's in the title. It's about becoming more authentically who we are, discovering more of who we are, and for myself. The prime thing I wanted to do was to, in a sense, document my own life. It's like a journal for myself. It's a lesson I feel that I need to learn to become more authentically who I am, discover who I am, peel away the layers, the fears, the masks, etc. And through this process, then I hope to inspire others to discover more of themselves, to find more meaning and fulfillment in this urban world. You know what it's like living in London and get caught up in so much material chaos. So yeah, I wanted to be able to inspire others to do that, so they can connect more deeply to themselves, to other people, align with their purpose, create a more deeper spiritual practice, and I think then to be able to fully express our full health potential as well. So I've talked about 4 categories within the podcast. It's about helping people make aligned choices in purpose, spirituality, relationships, and body-mind. So yeah, and have great conversations with great people.
And what was the highlight for the course? Was it one of those conversations? Was it a breakthrough? Was it launching your show? What was a big thing for you?
There were so many things, actually. One incredible thing was the group. Just meeting some amazing people, within our group, within Team Rose. The people have been so incredibly supportive and inspiring, and I didn't expect to create connections with these people that I think I can now call friends, really, and I hope that we stay in touch for a long time, and to be able to witness their journey. And that's been an amazing byproduct, in a sense, that I didn't expect. Of course, launching it. Now finally to get to the point where you see your podcast on iTunes is an amazing moment. That's something that you've been working at for a long time. You don't think it's ever going to happen. And yeah, to connect with some cool guests, to really learn something new from different people, to have different types of conversations, the conversations I've always really wanted to have. And then be able to share that and broadcast it to a wider audience. It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, it's very special.
Very.
It's really hard to engineer cool conversations, even if you live, an incredible life. Even if you live in the heart of London and you're doing this, a lot of times still you miss those really great conversations that you can engineer on your own podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got it in your title, London Real, to be able to have a real and raw conversation with someone, unfiltered and with no judgment, to be able to really openly connect with that human on a different level, and to just expose. I think the key thing for me is to realize that we are not alone, is that to realize that we have more in common than we have different, and these conversations for me has opened that door to be able to share the fears, the deeper, darker parts of ourselves, expose that, and to realize other people feel just the same as you. We all have the same emotions, we all have the same fears. So it's been amazing to hear other people's stories in that, to make myself feel less alone.
What does this show look like in 1 year's time?
Well, I hope to just continue to learn, to grow and expand, really. That I've, consistently published episodes for the next year, to be able to push and expand my comfort zone even more, to stretch to guests, at different levels, different fields, I hope to have created a tribe of people that also are really wanting to discover more of who they are, that have seen changes in those areas in their life, in purpose, spirituality, relationships, in their body and mind. Just to create more connections with people. That's really what it's about for me. So it's expanded.
Okay. And how are you different? If we walked out on the street and bumped into this Sara that didn't take this course, what's that woman like?
I think more authentic. I think so already in this time, more authentic. In essence, actually, it's exposed more fear for me. So I think it's just shine a light on another layer for me to work on, to realize the next mask of the layer that I need to peel away. And that's great. That's great for me. So I think more real, more raw, more able and open to connect with someone on a real, genuine level without so much of the false idea of who I am.
So you're becoming more comfortable being just you each time you broadcast.
Yeah, more comfortable in my own skin, and more confident and grounded in that. And not confidence in the sense of a false identity of confidence and bravado in a sense, but no, really to feel more confident in who I am and grounded in what I'm doing, and that I'm on the right path. And that feels great. It feels that I've been filled with more purpose than before, which is wonderful.
Broadcasting will do that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I always say it's like, I think it's the fountain of youth, and that's a weird way to describe it. But, you know, it allows you to connect more with yourself and to other people and to become more real, kind of almost by definition.
Yeah.
If you're just letting the mics record and having these conversations, you put yourself out there, and, you know, and it's a journey, it's a process.
Yeah, and I think to highlight also more of the inauthenticities in that, because it puts you in a situation where you can't hide. To, especially with broadcasting, to listen to yourself back, it's something that most people don't ever do, and I'd never really done myself before. And you get a new perspective on yourself, I think. And yeah, highlighting my own inauthenticities and being challenged with different questions, exposed to different ideas, and trying to find my own truth or in that. Yeah, it's been quite a fascinating process.
If someone is thinking about taking this course, but they're just not sure, what would you tell them?
If you want to broadcast, then do it. Because if you're sitting in your own space thinking that you're going to do it off your own back, it's not very likely, because the resistance, as you say, the resistance is real. It's there, and no matter who you are, all of us experience it, and it's very difficult, I think, in isolation to overcome it. So I think that this course gives you everything you need in terms of strategy and tools to be able to do it. So I just go for it. 8 weeks, just go all in, as Robert Roos says, go all in and just get it done. Just stick to the accountability side of it, connect with people, and just go for it, because life's short. And if I hadn't have done it, then I would have still been here now, not broadcasting, and potentially for another year. So go for it.
Sarah, it's been fun watching you on your journey. I'll still remember our first call. I remember looking at you on the Zoom call, and I can almost see what's going on in your brain sometimes. I don't know if other people tell you that, but
No.
I can almost see it on your face, and I can see you struggling with perfection and just like these kind of things. And I always really like you because, you know, you have a history of getting things done. I know you can get the things done. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to push her a little harder, because I know when you get these things done, you're gonna go big and you're gonna do great things, and you're gonna peel these layers off and just get to the next level. And so I'm just really happy that you pushed through that resistance, the perfection and all that stuff, and just got it done, and pushed through the resistance of even some peer criticism. And you're just like, you know what, we're just going forward. And if you keep regularly publishing, you will not recognize who you are in a good way in the next 12 months. And I can't wait.
Thank you.
So welcome to the family. You now got this incredible group, so stay accountable to them for the next 12 months. We'll be watching you, I'll be watching you. And as we say, it's about the journey, and I wish you well on yours.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.